What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OG GM, coming to you on a very lazy Saturday morning at 10:50 in the morning. And this is just a shout out to myself to let you know that I'm shutting down my store on Big Geek Emporium as of August 4th. So it's the last chance to get everything that I have made so far and published over the last year on Big Geek Emporium. Everything must go, all sales final, everything marked down to $1. Any future products I make will be over at the Giant Slayer or another site. There's a lot of reasons why I'm doing this. One, I just don't make enough stuff. And two, the few things that I have made haven't really made that much money to make it worth it. It's more cost effective for me to just work through Miguel and Sylvia and have them do the all the laying out and the stuff. Sure, I make less money, but whatever. And the other reason is, quite frankly, in my humble opinion, the customer service from Big Geek Emporium. It kind of sucks and always has. The site has always been buggy. I've always had issues with it. But lately, the last few months, it's just been awful. And I'm not the only one. And I have like 50 or 60 bucks in my Big Geek Emporium account that I've been asking for them to transfer for over a month, and they haven't. And this is a continuous issue I've been having, and a lot of other people are having with their site, which you ask for the money to be transferred, and it doesn't. It takes days and days and days and days and days and days. And some of us count on that money. You know, I mean, obviously my 50 bucks isn't a lot, but people who are, making 100, 200, 300 bucks off of Big Geek Emporium sales, and that's their livelihood, and waiting for it to be deposited directly, and then waiting. That kind of sucks. There's no response from the customer service. I've tried the emails, I've posted. Other people have had issues. I have issue posting. I have issue trying to find my own stuff and navigating this site. It's like they don't try, and they don't advertise. I mean, I've been posting there since day one. Miguel and Sylvia for the Red Room have been posting there for the same one. They used to advertise. They used to let people know that stuff was on their site, but lately they haven't. It sort of kind of feels like they've just sort of given up on the site. And I'm not the only one who says that. So if for an extremely small press person for me who, can't do all the stuff that somebody like Jim or Miguel can do, and would rather have somebody else who actually understands that do it for me, especially with all my mental difficulties and dyslexia and stuff like that. Computers are hard enough for me that if I want to put stuff on sale for a site for frickin', $4, I expect a little help, even for as bare bones as my stuff was. And I got very little help. And, when then I see Miguel and Sylvia publish stuff and they have such an easy with it, and Jim, and I'm just like, you know what? If Jim wants to publish my stuff on his site and get a percentage, great. If Miguel and Sylvia want to publish my stuff and get a percentage, great. It's easier for me that way, since I feel this site has done nothing. Now, people are like, well, why don't you go to drive-thru? And I'd be like, yeah, I tried. I tried using drive-thru. For some reason, drive-thru won't let me load. Even when I followed the directions to the core, drive-thru won't let me load. I assume that's my computer and me, and not drive-thru or anybody else, because as we know, I have a long-standing issue with technology and machines and computers and loading shit. So yeah, machines hate me. That's my superpower. So here's a look at what I have for sale on my store still. All the good stuff I left up, all the kind of crappy stuff I took down, and a lot of my compilations or things I didn't see people making things for that I really thought people would be interested in. As you can all see, they're all marked down. You can see the evolution of the artwork too. And definitely how just in the last year, AI art has improved from this to this, the quality of AI part stuff. So here we have my Dungeon 23 mega dungeon that's kind of petered out after 4 levels. I had this great idea of building a dungeon inside of a giant tree and then detailing all the weird experiments that were going on inside the tree while the players chased some goblins who had stolen a pig through the dungeon, but it kind of petered out. Here's a 5-room dungeon that I made using many of the creatures that I created. Somebody said do Beast for the OSR because there weren't a lot of, books being put out of just normal everyday monsters. You had hundreds of books about, catalopuses and cyclopses and chimeras and, but nobody was doing a book with like dogs and wolves and fish in it. So I did this one. And then people also said, do plants. There's not a lot of, so I did a plants. And for the plant one, I actually did research. I actually looked up deadly plants and, venomous plants and plants that eat animals and stuff like that. And have put all this information. I looked up herbology and different herbs you might find in a dungeon. And of course, then they had to have put in the big warning. Do not try this at home. I did one on golems. I did one on gear because there wasn't a lot of just gear books for the OSR, especially like how to build gear, and kit bashing gear. So that's what this one was all about. It's like, when I design monsters, I always think, the monsters would be armed with whatever they have laying around from wherever they got it, unless they are intelligent enough to have crafting and smithing and stuff like that, or have robbed places. But, goblins go through, they rob trash. They're just going to use whatever they find as weapons. So one of my constant reoccurring theme is people running into goblins, and you've got a goblin like wielding a baking pin, and another one with a steak knife, and another one with a giant fork. There's a goblin who's got like a spaghetti colander on his head because that's what they found. So that's what they make stuff out of. So that book was all about, like kit bashing and making stuff. And then we have sort of my collection. I collected and cut and pasted all the stuff together and put them in a thing. And that was like that. And then here's the liminal dungeon, which I made. I was one of the first. I made the first liminal dungeon. Other people are making liminal dungeons, but I made the first. Here's my Bloodstone saga. The Bloodstone Lands is definitely an adventure setting that doesn't get enough love. And considering the Bloodstone Lands and the Slumbering Tsar are kind of the same thing. In fact, I should ask the creators of the Slumbering Tsar if they were inspired by the Bloodstone Lands saga. But in the vast, series of things that have been converted to 5e, Wizards never really did a lot with the Bloodstone Lands. And then here's another collection of all the different minions I have made. So these are all available on Big Geek Emporium for $1 till my midnight on my birthday, August 4th. So if you want to know what to get me for my birthday, it would be buying my merch. Till then, I'm the OG GM, and I will talk to you later. See ya.